2024 Topps Chrome officially releases today on Wednesday, July 17th, and we have the top 10 most valuable cards in this set according to me, with an honorable mention. So, not going to waste any more of your guys' time. This is going to be maybe a longer video, so let's get into it. So, of course, before we actually get into the top 10, let's just look at this price real quick, man. $200. Last year, oh, my face cam is showing or covering my fault, but $199.99. $200, right? I mean, Topps, man, what are we doing? I know this is on the Fanatics site right now that I'm on, but still, $200. Last year, I paid $131. This year, I paid $201. Same product, same amount of packs, same amount of cards, one autograph, and it's $70+ dollars. So, I say it every time I talk about it. It's just ridiculous, right? But either way, we're here to talk about the checklist today. So, we're going to start out with an honorable mention. And the honorable mention, if it'll load, goes to Jackson Holliday, right? Jackson Holliday, a very, very weird and interesting story is what has happened with him. Got called up in like the later end of April, struggled mightily. As you can tell, this is the minor league website. I'm not even looking at his major league stats because they were so bad. I think his current batting average in the majors is .059. .059, that's how bad he was. Of course, he got sent down. His stats for the minor league so far this year, which we'll look at his 7-game stats here in just a second. 238 at-bats, 8 homers, 30 RBIs, an average of 273 with an OPS of 913. That's pretty good, right? But you got to realize, those stats also include the time before he got called up in April, that short little, about 3-week span right there, right? If you go down to his 7-game right here, duration right here, you want to look at those. Not good. I mean, in 23 at-bats in the last 7 days, or we can look at the last 15 games. Last 15 games, right? 34 at-bats. 2 hits. So that means he hasn't got a hit in over a week in this span right here, the last week. No home runs, 1 RBI, 2 stolen bases. What's that? 29 strikeouts, I believe. He is batting .087 with a slugging of .087. Yeah, I hate to say this kid's going to be a bust, but you got to realize he's only literally 20 years old. He turns 21, I do believe, if my math adds up correctly, in December. Yeah, so December 4th, he turns 21. So, I mean, obviously he has a lot of time to figure it out and be productive at the major league level, but I personally probably wouldn't expect him to put it lightly, I wouldn't expect him to be up the rest of the year. I think he's probably going to sit in AAA in the Norfolk Tides team probably till 2025. I just can't see it. Unless he goes on a tear, I just can't see. I mean, the Orioles are already good. They don't really need him right now. So now we get to the official top 10. So let's get into it. So the official top 10 starts now. Number 10. We're going to Jasson Dominguez, right? I put him at number 10. I put him at number 10 because, you know, he hasn't... Oh, my fault. Hold on. What happened here? Oh, there we go. Something happened. Something glitched out there for a second. My fault. So, Jasson Dominguez is number 10. I put Jasson Dominguez at number 10 because, quite frankly, he hasn't played yet this year. Although I heard a rumor, and rumors are swirling, that he is very, very close to making his 2024 season debut on the Major League roster as soon as after the All-Star break this upcoming Friday, so 2 days from now. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but the Yankees probably could use him after the little slide that they had. But last year, let's look at his last year stats, I guess. 31 at-bats, so very, very small sample size. 4 home runs and 31 at-bats. That's over a, 10%, percentile. You're going to get a home run. That's really, really good. Not even 10% my fault. I'm terrible at math. 7 RBIs, 258 average, OPS at 980. Very, very good OPS. Like I said, he should definitely be up. Probably after the All-Star break sometime. I heard it was as early as Friday. I don't know that, but keep an eye out for him. You'll definitely see him very, very, very soon in a Yankees uniform in the Bronx. Number 9, we're going to another AL East team, one we already covered to an extent. We're going to Heston Kjerstad. Heston Kjerstad takes the prize at number 9. Heston Kjerstad, only 51 at-bats. Again, very, very, very small sample size. But again, in those 51 at-bats, 16 hits, 3 home runs, 12 RBIs, OPS 945, and an average of 314. Again, Orioles are very, very good right now. Them and the Yankees are like literally going at it for the AL East crown in the second half, so that's going to be interesting to watch from an outsider's perspective. But either way, he is very good. I mean, who isn't good for the Orioles? The Orioles, I will always say it when I talk about this, the Orioles by far have the best scouting and developmental system in all of baseball. There's no doubt about it. There's really not much else I could say from aside that. They're just so talented over there. They know exactly what to look for. They know exactly what to draft. And for some reason, they all look the same. If you ever noticed that, literally every single Oriole all looks the same for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's just how they look, they draft them. I quite frankly have no idea. But either way, we are going to number, I believe this is 8. I'm already losing track of where I'm at. I think this is 8, right? Honorable mention, 10, 9, 8. Here we go. So, we're going to number 8, which would be Jackson Chourio. Finally, a non-AL East team. So Jackson Chourio, very, very coveted prospect for the, I can't even call him a prospect no more, for the Milwaukee Brewers. 276 at-bats. He has 9 home runs, 35 RBIs, 10 stolen bases, a 243 average, which is decent in today's world, and an OPS of 678, which is not the greatest. Major League, if you don't know the average OPS of a Major League player, it's 750. So that's just below average, but still very, very good player. He fits into the Brewers pretty nicely. Luckily, he really hasn't done anything against my Pirates. We only play them one more time this year, like towards the end of the year, but either way, Trio's going to be a pretty good prospect. He's only 20 years old. So like I said with Holiday, he'll definitely figure it out over time. And again, they signed him to like an 8-year contract. Literally like before he even got called up this year, like the first time that's ever happened in like history. So either way, Jackson Chourio should definitely, figure it out. I mean, he is. It's just, give him time, right? It's a case of the give him the time sort of thing. So here we are to number 7. This is one of my personal favorites on this list, no doubt about it. We're going to Pittsburgh. We're going to my Pirates. We're going to Nick Gonzalez. Nick Gonzalez, very, very, very underappreciated, man. He gets looked over, right? We got Brian Reynolds, right? We got Paul Skeens. We got, Mitch Keller, O'Neal Cruz, another Pirate I'm going to mention here in just a couple picks. He gets overshadowed. He honestly does get overshadowed. A lot of people don't really understand the importance of his contribution so far to the Pirates. Right now, we are 49-49. We were over 500, or at 500, I should say, for the first time, I believe, since 2019 at the break, which is pretty good considering the fact that our lineup stinks, but our pitching is very, very, very good. So you could credit the pitching. But speaking of lineups, Nick Gonzalez is very productive. He got called up on May 10th, the day before Paul Skeens got called up. And this is his production since that point. 215 at-bats, 57 hits, 5 home runs. He's not a power hitter. He's a contact guy. 35 RBIs, an OPS of 714, and an average of 265. Very, very, very serviceable in today's Major League Baseball. No doubt about it. Very, very impressed with his turnaround, because last year he was really, really not good. There was rumors swirling earlier this year in Major League Baseball and before opening day that he was actually going to get traded for a Marlins pitcher. I forget which one it was. But either way, they were thinking about trading him, but luckily they did not, because, man, he has been a major contribution to this team with the lineup struggles they have had. So I thank him for that. So now we're going to number, I believe this is 6. Another one of my personal favorites that completely just gets swept under the radar, in my honest opinion, is Weiler Abreu of the Boston Red Sox. Weiler Abreu of the Boston Red Sox, in my honest opinion, is just as underappreciated as Nick Gonzalez is. A lot of people don't know about him, but the hardcore fans do. If you're a Red Sox fan, you certainly know about him. But other teams and fans of other teams, they, quite frankly, some people just don't know about this guy. So let me tell you about him. 223 at-bats, 59 hits, 8 home runs, 29 RBI, 7 stolen bases, an average of 265 with an OPS of 808. Very, very serviceable, and he is definitely a reason why the Red Sox are 10 games over 500? No one really expected the Red Sox to be in a wild card spot, and just behind, they are literally I don't know if I can pull up the standings here. I don't think I can. But they are literally just a couple games behind the Yankees in the division, which is very, very interesting. Nobody expected them to be like this year, but here we are, man. I mean, baseball's a weird sport. You never know what's going to happen. So he is number 6 on my list. So we are halfway through. I do believe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, we were halfway through. Let me know in the comments before I get to number 5. How is my list looking so far? Would you change anything through honorable mention, which I guess pick 11, all the way through now? I'd love to hear what you guys have to think. Would you make any changes this first part of the list? Let me know. Now we go to number 5. And another one of my personal favorites, obviously for bias reasons. We're going to Jared Jones. Jared Jones takes the prize halfway point, I guess more than halfway at this point, number 5. Listen, I typically don't like putting pitchers on my lists. You know, anytime I do a top 10, I always despise putting pitchers on this list. So Yamamoto and Iminaga are not on this list. If you were wondering that, they're not on this list, right? There's really, really good players I haven't even mentioned yet that are position players. The only reason I put him on this list is because for some reason, Topps, this is his first official rookie card. He was not in Series 2 for some unknown weird reason, although he got called up on opening day, as you can see by the opening day banner in the background of his photo right there. That's in Miami. He pitched in Miami, literally. Game 3 of the year. So I'm not entirely sure why Topps didn't decide to put him in Series 2, considering the fact that there's Holiday, Chirrio as short prints. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. But this is his first official base card, although his first base card's in Chrome, so I'm not entirely sure what that means for update. I assume he'll have a paper base and update maybe, or maybe not. I quite frankly don't know. But either way, let's go over his stats here. 5 and 6. The only reason he has 6 losses is because, honestly, the run support, he don't get run support. I'll tell you that. Obviously, I watch every single Pirates game. He does not get run support sometimes. ERA is a 3.56. That is very, very serviceable for a rookie. 91 innings pitched, strikeouts 98 with a whip of 1.11. Very, very good. He's averaging over a strikeout in innings so far this year. He was honestly on track early in the year to be Rookie of the Year in the National League. Now, obviously, with Paul Skeens on this team and how great he has been, that's obviously not going to happen. But either way, Jared Jones is a very, very, very serviceable pitcher. Probably going to be in the 3rd spot in our rotation next year. Skeens will be 1, or probably Keller for veteran leadership. Keller, Skeens, Jones, those 3, man, the 3-headed dragon, man. Yeah, unstoppable, man. Playoff time, if we make the playoffs, they're going to be literally unhittable. Paul Skeens, I just can't say anything. I can't say more great things about them. So number 5 is Jared Jones. Number 4, we're going to another NL Central team. We're going to the Reds. We're going to Elly De La Cruz, the cover athlete of the product. Elly De La Cruz is a very, very interesting player. Power, speed. He's got literally every tool, right? So let's go over his stats. 360 at-bats. He has 92 hits, scored 64 runs. I typically don't say how many runs he scored, but look how many stolen bases he has. 46 stolen bases, and we're only through 90 games out of the year. We still have over 70 games left to play, and he already has 46 stolen bases. Unheard of. 17 home runs, 43 RBIs. Average 256 with an OPS of 829. You can credit that to the walks. He draws a lot of walks, and he makes you pay for them. Sometimes he gets on first, and 2 pitches later, he's on third base. Literally no joke. Reds fans could definitely attest to that. That just shows you how fast and how good he is. But either way, switch hitter as well. Forgot to mention that. But either way, Reds, this is definitely their best player in my honest opinion. There's a new guy on the scene. I forget his name. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now. But, yeah, that guy will definitely be in Series 1. You Reds fans know exactly who I'm talking about. But either way, Elly De La Cruz takes the prize at number 4. Number 3, we're getting into the top 3 now in my 2024 Topps Chrome checklist. So number 3, we're going to another National League Central team. I think we've literally, let me see here. Did we cover, actually, I think we covered literally every single National League Central team. Pirates, Brewers, Cardinals. I'm missing somebody here, right? There's no way I'm not. Am I? Brewers, Cardinals. Oh, yeah, we're missing the Cubs. Yeah, my fault. Yeah, no Cubs on this list. But either way, we're going to Masyn Winn. Masyn Winn, honestly, one of my favorite players to watch. I don't like how he's on the Cardinals, obviously, because I have to, see him torture my team. But either way, let's look at his stats real quick. 320 at-bats, 91 hits, 5 home runs, 33 RBIs, 9 stolen bases, an average of 284 with an OPS of 738. Very, very serviceable. And he is definitely one of the reasons why the Cardinals are in second place. A lot of people actually predicted, fun fact, a lot of people actually predicted the Cardinals to end up in last place this year again because of their pitching rotation and how it was old and like a retirement home, people called it. But either way, they are sitting right now in second place, not too far behind the Brewers, and the Pirates are pretty close to them as well, catching up to them. But either way, very, very fun player to watch. Definitely enjoy watching him play every time they play the Pirates. So he has to go on the list, number 3. Number 2, we're going to Texas. We're going to the heart of Texas. We're going to Wyatt Langford. One of, by far, my favorite players to watch ever since he got called up. Wyatt Langford is an absolute freaking beast. Let's look at his stats here. 268 at-bats, 68 hits, 5 home runs, 40 RBIs, 8 stolen bases, an average of 254 with an OPS of 702. Again, very, very good considering he's a rookie. Definitely love watching him play. He's literally just as old as I am. He's literally 22. I'm 22. So, again, very, very cool to watch. And he literally, just got drafted last year. As you see, he got drafted in the first round, pick 4 last year. So, everyone talks about Paul Skeens and how Paul Skeens got called up in 1 year. A lot of people don't talk about Wyatt Langford. Wyatt Langford was literally only drafted 3 picks after Paul Skeens, and Wyatt Langford is in Major League Baseball already. So he was actually the first player to be called up from this draft, because I believe got called up on opening day, I believe. Yeah, definitely did. Debut, 328. Yeah, that's the opening day. So, yeah, pretty cool to see. And before we get into number 1, leave a comment who you think it is. It should be pretty obvious at this point. Number 2, let me tell you about today's sponsor of the channel. Today's video is sponsored by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the official ticket market of Major League Baseball, and we have partnered up to deliver huge savings for you guys who watch my videos. So click the link down below, download the app today, use my promo code GRIP&RIP, all one word, and of course, t-shirt plug. GRIP&RIP, all one word, to save $20 off of your first SeatGeek purchase. Again, the code will only work if you have never purchased from SeatGeek.com before. So huge thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring this channel. And now let's get into number 1, of course. Again, cheap plug, go grab the merch. Links also in the description. Have new designs as well. Make sports cards great again. Just released a couple weeks ago, so go grab that shirt. Man, people loving it. All right, number 1. And by the way, Langford is projected actually as the odds-on favorite to win Rookie of the Year right now in the American League. All right, speaking of Rookie of the Year favorites, although, my personal belief it's not going to happen for this guy, we're going to Jackson Merrill of the Padres. So Jackson Merrill, in my opinion, is the number one most valuable card in this set because right now he is number 2 behind Paul Skeens as the odds-on favorite. He passed Shota. Merrill was actually 3 for a very long time. Actually, he was 2. Imanaga was 1. Paul Skeens gets called up, moves ahead of Merrill. Merrill drops down to 3. And then what happens was Merrill does really well, goes up to 2. Skeens goes up to 1. Now Imanaga goes down to 3. So Merrill, very, very good. He'll definitely be a contender for Rookie of the Year when they announce the finalists. He's definitely going to be one. So let's go over his stats. 331 at-bats, 92 hits, 12 homers, 46 RBIs, a 278 average with an OPS at 745. That is very, very solid for a player, again, only 21 years old. You can't really beat that at that point. So, again, do I think he's going to win Rookie of the Year? Honestly, I mean, not even being biased, probably not. I mean, Skeens is just on a whole nother level of dominance right now. Again, we still have 70-plus games to go, so we'll see what really happens down the wire here. But either way, thank you guys so much for joining me on this video today. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this list. Before you guys go, leave a comment down in the comment section. I felt like I've said that a lot of times already today. Let me know your top 10. So maybe do an honorable mention like I did, and then do your top 10. I'd love to hear what you guys would change or how you guys would do your top 10. So let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.